It is Thursday, the 27th of July, 1967, and the California Angels are visiting the Boston Red Sox. This is our approach to telling the history of America's favourite game. Just as radio stations would recreate baseball games from ticker tape messages, we can research this classic game and present it to you as if you were listening to the radio in 1967. Information was sourced from several sites and records, including retrosheet.org and sportsreference.com. This broadcast should not be considered a complete or fully accurate historical record. Nevertheless, this is our story of the game.
And so another scorcher of a day weather-wise is expected here in Boston. Thanks for the weather there, Sally. And good afternoon, America. Ewan Spence here. Fenway Park reaches out in front of me as we have the third game, the deciding game in a three-game series between our visitors, the California Angels, and of course the custodians of Fenway themselves, the Boston Red Sox. It is a season here on the East Coast where people are starting to dream, are starting to believe after last year's languishing in the basements of the American League. The Red Sox find themselves climbing high, just 1.5 games off the lead of the American League behind the Chicago White Sox. The Angels themselves looking to establish and put their mark on the game, not that far behind, 1.5 behind Boston, 3 behind the lead. So it's the second and third at the top of the American League taking on each other and 1 game apiece. California taking the game on Tuesday, and Boston matching up last night as well. So 1-1, 1 to go, and we are delighted to welcome you here to one of the, what do we got? We've got this playing today, and we've also got a game over at the Giants and a game at the Yankees as well. We'll keep you up to date those two games as we go through the broadcast. Just look down, and our opening pitchers are going to be Jim McLaughlin for the Angels and Lee Stang for the Red Sox. But let's take a moment just to go down that full Angels lineup for the batting as they come through. Batting first, left fielder Jose Cardinal. Batting second, third baseman Woody Held. And one to keep an eye on batting third, shortstop Jim Fregosi. Middle of the order, our first baseman Don Minchin is fourth. Right fielder Jimmy Hall is batting fifth, and center fielder Roger Repos is going to be sixth. Closing out, catcher Buck Rogers, second baseman Bobby Knoop, and pitcher Jim McLaughlin, as already mentioned there, is going to be closing out the batting for the Angels. Defense-wise for the Red Sox, well, your left, centre, right across the top. We've got Carl Yastrzemski, Reggie Smith, and Tony Conigliaro. Shortstop is going to be Rico Petrocelli. 3-2-1, you Ted Rogers across the middle. Joe Foy, Mike Andrews, and George Scott. Scott at first, Andrews at second, Foy at third. Catching is going to be Mike Ryan, and your opening pitcher is going to be the 30-year-old veteran Lee Stang. Umpiring crew for the team, crew chief behind home plate is going to be Bill Haller, Jim Horacek out at first, Nestor Shilak at second, and Cal Drummond keeping an eye on proceedings at third. Teams themselves coming in, 54-45 for California, 53-41 for Boston. But yeah, 1.5 back, and then another 1.5 back after that. Just lean down to the techies and see if we're ready to bring the field up and see how the final practice pitches are going there. Lee Stang getting 2 more by the looks of it from Bill Haller. As always, thank you for listening to Classic Baseball Radio, as we just see one could well be the final warm-up pitch there. You can support our recreations with a small pledge at ko-fi.com/classicbaseballradio. And don't forget to like, love, share and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you follow your podcasts. I'm told that in the future people who understand radio will understand what that phrasing means as well. But until then, you're as much in the dark as I am. But we are here to watch a game of baseball, and I don't think that is ever going to change over a century, 2 centuries, 3 centuries or more into the future. So you 1, 2, 3, it's going to be Jose Cardinal, Woody Held, and Jim Fregosi for the Angels. As we get ready to go underway here at Fenway Park, we are going to open up with high and ball one going through there. Lee Stang pitching to Mike Ryan for the Red Sox. Jose Cardinal up first for the Angels. So we are going to open up with a 1-0 coming off that high. And the balls are going to continue there as we get ball 2. 2-0 coming through. Cardinal there just taking a little bit of time to settle in. A lot of speed here from the Cuban batter. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-1. Some defense just staying steady around, not coming in too close, not coming in too far either. As we see ball 3, that one's coming in a low and into the inside there. Stein just working to get that curveball going. 3-1. Solid hit, goes down, bounce to Mike Andrews, picks it up, second base, over to George Scott at first, and with that we are 1 away. Lee Stang looking back at his defence and giving them the nod. We're going to see both infields on top of their game. Whichever infield can hold will give their offence the best chance. It's certainly what we've seen the last couple of games. When he held, steps in now. Another veteran right-hander. Pounce on the mistakes if Stang has any to offer. See how that goes. Fouls that one as it goes up and high over the back. 0-1. Stang gets himself ahead in the count for the first time this game. And that's going to be called a ball. Yep, so equal low. Stang plays around a fair amount with the speed of the pitch. Just works your eye into the wrong places if you're the batter. As that goes for ball 2, 2-1. This takes a moment there, shakes off one pitch. Communication between Stang and Ryan. Decision has been made, 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Count goes equal high. No slip-ups yet from Stang. Held. Finding his way, a little bit comfortable, but not ready yet to 2-2. Lets that one go low and hefty inside there. Count goes full. Payoff pitch. Shaken off again from Stang. Giving Ryan a little bit more control of the game here. Another bit of eye-to-eye communication from Stang and Ryan. I'm quite happy here to let Ryan's confidence do the calling. 3-2, payoff coming down. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That one goes screaming past, and the first real bit of heat from Stang gets himself the strikeout. So it's 2 up, 2 down. Jim Fregosi coming in now, 284 for the season. See one of the cornerstone players of the Angels. Watches that one go high and inside. 1-0. Golsey, very much established as one of the strong defensive players on the Angels. You see that one foul down the right field line. A huge amount of power in the hits, just the 7 home runs for the season so far, but loves drawing the walks, loves finding the gaps in the defense to get the grounders going out far. Strike as that goes up and over as well. 1-2. Kelsey just stepping back out of the box. Let's be fair to say, we've got a whole bunch of veterans just eyeing each other out. Ball 2. We're equal high once more. Top of the first here. 2 outs so far. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Inside for ball 3. And if we look over the big board underneath the green monsters, all the lights are on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Payoff pitch comes down. Grounder bounces once more. Mike Andrews picks it up again. George Scott second to first base. And with that, the side is retired in order. 3 up, 3 down. Ground out the strikeout. Then a ground out as well. Zeros down the line. No runs, no hits. None left on base for the Angels. No errors charged to the Red Sox. So we'll head into the middle of the first and chances to look down the lineup for the Red Sox. Mike Andrews. Sterling working at second base is going to be lead off, followed by third baseman Joe Foy and left fielder Carl Yastrzemski. Middle of the order, right fielder Tony Conigliaro, first baseman George Scott, and shortstop Rico Petrocelli. And closing out 7, 8, 9, center fielder Reggie Smith, catcher Michael Ryan, and any pitcher spot 9, Lee Stang. Angels outfield, Jose Cardinal, Roger Repose, and Jimmy Hall, your left, center, right. Jim Fregosi at shortstop, and you Ted Rogers 3-2-1. Woody Held, Bobby Knoop, and Don Mincher. Mincher at first, Knoop at second, Held at third. Buck Rogers is going to be your catcher, and Jim McLaughlin is pitching for the Angels towards the Red Sox. Andrews, Foy, and Yastrzemski up next here at Fenway Park. Bottom of the first, no runs on the board as yet. Andrews steps in. Top of the order, and you've got a rookie taking you into the game. 257 for the season so far. That one comes in low and inside. Ball 1. Maybe the rookie, but he's keeping himself nice and steady. Happy to wait there for the right pitch. Confidence is high. He's been keeping an eye on him in the clubhouse and fouls that one away. 1-1. Angles equal low. Andrews been leaning into the walks. And I'll be looking to get on base and pick everybody off here. 1-1. Kicked up high. That's going down the right field line. Jimmy Hall's going to be underneath that one. That's going to be a comfortable catch in the outfield there for the first out. Fly ball out to right field, and it's a comfortable catch. Maybe about 15-20 feet in from the warning track. Joe Foy is joining us now. Another player whose numbers might not be showing the hits, but getting on base is doing well for him so far. There's the wind. Grounder goes towards third base. Woody Held is going to take that one. Across the corners, Don Mincher at first, and there you go, second away. So 2 up, 2 down so far. And we're going to welcome in the man who's been carrying the team on his shoulders in the start of the season from second last year in the league. Carl Yastrzemski, 326, having a season for the absolute ages. Strike one called. Yaz lets that one go right past him. 0-1. And that's going to be a ball. No, that's going to be called. A little appeal there from Yaz, but no. Home plate umpire Haller says that's a swing. 2 away so far. Bottom of the first, no runs on the board as yet. Carl Yastrzemski, not 2 count. Lothian. Wind. Darn, it's hit high. It's hard, it's long, it's heading towards the corner of the Munsters. Through into the crowd. Home run. And as he's been doing all season, Yastrzemski grabs the game and hands it to Boston on a plate. Home run here in the bottom of the first. And that puts the Red Sox up one with a home run deep center field. It's his 25th home run of the season. And it is a season that you have to think, you haven't had anybody really go for the Triple Crown since 1956. He's thinking it. He might not be saying it, but he's thinking it. One run of Boston opens up scoring here at Fenway Park. And we will welcome up to the plate now Tony Conigliario, local hero. The slugger's getting a 306 off his bat so far. Fouls the first one away. 0-1. Lothian just stood there, hands on hips, watched Yaz's home run sail right over. Clean sweep, got underneath that ball and just lifted it. Wind itself not really doing good or bad. It's pulling in from first over through third. Not one. Fouls again. So we'll go 0-2. Wind itself is relatively breezy. So toss the ball up on a fly ball. You have a little bit of a drift from first over to third base. 0-2. 1-2. Conigliario, very much familiar with the corners and the cadence here at Fenway, understanding the park as much as his teammate Yaz did there as well. 1-2, and that's going to go high. It's going to stay above the plate. Bob Rogers just going to step back there, and the catcher's going to have that one there, and the side is retired. But not before. We have one run on the board. Carl Yastrzemski takes the hit, gets the run, and left on base though. All the action coming from the bat. No errors charged to the Angels as well. And after one, it's 1-up for the Red Sox here at Fenway Park as the California Angels already taken one, looking to take the second in a 3-game series. Mind you, so are Boston. This broadcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you can be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. Broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you and get 65% off your first order. Second inning, your 1-2-3 for the Angels is going to be Don Mincher and Jimmy Hall on Roger Repose. California Angels still to score. Boston putting their first run on the board there. Lee Stang back in to pitch for the Red Sox. And now we are going to be back under the way with the second with a little foul ball that bounces around the feet of Mincher. 0-1 there. As that Stang just starts to work that off speed. Curve down just a touch to the inside. He's settled into that space. He had a fouled off there. Again, just low and across the ground. 0-2. Stang just throwing the curves down. And some are getting a break, some are not. So a little bit of a guessing game as always. That one's left to go ball 1. 1-2. There's the wind. Lofted up high. It's not going to go deep though. Petrocelli's underneath that one at shortstop. And takes that one comfortably there for a first out. A little bit of showboating for the crowd as well. Jimmy Hall coming in now. Veteran from the Minnesota Twins. Over the Angels to give them a little bit more veteran depth. Steady the team. Young team, of course. Any team, almost any team's young when you put them next to Boston. As we see ball 1. So that goes well below the zone on that one. So 1-0. I know we did the trivia questions last week, which teams are older than the Red Sox. Last week? Tuesday. It's only 2 days ago, not last week. Ball 2. Still low. Outside of the zone, sitting on the inside. I think Stang's just working that corner to see where he can actually snap it into. Swing and a miss. So we go 2-1. Hall loves playing in clutch, takes a ball 3-1, so it's got a little bit of safe to swing here. 1 away so far in the top of the second. Fouls that one. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the 1 out as well. Payoff pitch. Line drive. A base hit into the centre field there. Almost past Petrielli. Reggie Smith is going to be underneath to get that one there. And throws that cut off. Mike Andrews covering second base after that one. But Hall, first hit of the game for the Angels, takes himself up to first base. And it's going to be Roger Repose coming in now, former Yankee, and to get the tying run over from first base and all the way home to get it onto the board. Ball 1 there, going low with a Repose batting left-handed, just slides away from him there. 280 for the season. Repose wishes that one go past as well. 2-1. Not ready for take that one. Hopefully shaking it off there. The batter shaking it off, just making the eye contact. More veterans knowing each other's tricks there. 2-0. Lets that one go past as well. 3-0. Starting just not getting the bottom of the zone on this one. Interesting to see whether he goes for that. That's fouled high. So went for the low as well. Those guys will take the swing as that one. Runner at first. 3-1 to Repose. And that one's going to go high and fly. Petrielli just signals that he's comfortably got that on the edge of the infield and takes that to the applause from the Fenway crowd. So he can fly ball out to shortstop. And it's going to be catcher Buck Rogers coming in for the Angels now. 2 away, runner at first. No runs as yet for the Angels. It's a 1-0 game to the Red Sox. Fouls the first one off. 0-1. Rogers, good for contact and drive over teammates if they're there already. All taking a little bit of a lead, hoping to do just that. 0-1. That's another one hit high. It's going long, it's going back. It's that man Yaz. He's underneath it and side is retired with a clean catch out in the left field. One hit there for the Angels here in the top of the second, but no runs coming off there. 1 left on base, no errors charged to the Red Sox. And midway through the second, still advantage Boston just by the single home run. Carl Yastrzemski carrying the team on his shoulders. The team all helping him out as well, lifting up the Red Sox. It's 1.5 behind the White Sox. White Sox are not going to be playing today. Wants the chance to close that gap even further. This is their 95th game of the season so far, so they've got a couple in hand. California breaks the 100 mark if you're keeping track in the paper as well. George Scott, Rico Petrocelli and Reggie Smith are going to be your 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the second. Scott with a 291 on the season so far. Been aggressive so far. I think with the lead so far, he's going to be given the nod to go even more. McLaughlin still pitching. And opens that up with a cold strike. Bit of a moment from Haller there to decide, but it's going to be a 0-1. And that's going to go equal low. 1-1. Scott himself, 291 for the seasons. 11 home runs. That's big boom bat. Certainly for the solo hits in the order. I don't know, you've got Petrocelli on 8 for the season with Scott's 11 as fouls that one off. 1-2. Red Sox pretty much dangerous throughout the entire lineup. Mike Ryan, the catcher, giving it 221 so far. Goals for ball 2, so count is equal high. 2-2. Othien just shakes one off. Shakes off his second. Yeah, it's going to be, let's see, he loves his sinkers, he loves his breakers, so something more interesting kicking up here. May well be on the placement. Anyway, catcher pitcher in agreement now. Boston up by 1. George Scott opening second inning on a 2-2. Hits that high, it's hard, it's long, it's heading to the Munster, it's over the Munster. Home run! Second home run in 2 innings, and George Scott matches his teammate Carl Yastrzemski and sends another one out over Fenway and into the suburbs of Boston. Home run there from a 2-2 count, lofted high. Wind might have just pushed that a little bit, but not far enough to take it foul. Comfortably over our little green monster. Boston, one more run added then. So it's a 2-run game as we bring in the aforementioned Rico Petrocelli. Again, power there. It's ball 1. Lothian has given up 2 home runs the evening so far. This early in the game, it's now going to be a little bit of a mental battle. Shake that off. The ball has no memory. It's fouled down the first base line. Equal. Ball has no memory, but pitchers tend to have that, and the catchers and the batters. We're a superstitious lot sometime. And the 1-1 goes cold. Can't go, so 1-2. Petrocelli staying relatively still inside the box. Gwen comes in for the 1-2. That's lofted high. It's going long. It's going left field. Cardinal's underneath that one and takes that with a few steps to the side. Wouldn't give me that, just a little bit of a shimmy at the end, but Cardinal got that under control. So fly ball out of left field, not quite having the legs that Scott's home run did. Ball's a little bit short, one away. Reggie Smith coming in now. Switch hitter is going to go left-handed this time. 245 for the season. Rather tastily into the outside low corner. Pitch comes. Grounder goes there. It's not going to go. Fregosi picks that up. It's short. Takes a breath and over to Don Mincher at first base in time. On the 6-3 as we welcome in catcher Mike Ryan. 2 away here in the bottom of the second for the Red Sox. But they're up by 1 run in the first and 1 run in the second. Nice consistent pattern. Mike Ryan. Normally seeing they're going, well, some bunts, some sacrifices, some interesting plays, but the bases are clear right now with a 2:21 for the season. There's the wind. Line drive straight into Woody Held's glove for the third out there. Line straight down to the third baseman. And with that, side is retired. But it's another 1 hit, 1 run on the bottom of your card and left on base. No errors charged to the Angels. But it is Boston Red Sox comfortably in control here through 2 runs up in this rubber match of a 3-game series. This broadcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you can be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you, and you'll get 65% off your first order. Into the third, and it is going to be the 8-9-1 for the Angels. Bobby Knoop, Jim McLaughlin, and then back to the top for Jose Cardinal. Coming up, second baseman. It's there on the hit and runs. Into the third here, it's Bobby Knoop, Jim McLaughlin, and Jose Cardinal, the 8-9-1 in the lineup for the Angels. And still to score. Boston 2 up already. Knoop, 243 for the season, is going to open us up here with look behind the back screen. 0-1. Loves the hit and run. Leading off here, not as much help with any base runners. Prefers to be a little bit deeper in to get the production if possible. That's going to be called strike. So we'll go to 0-2. Stang just looking a little bit more confident here, a little more spring in the step, a little more loose in the shoulders. Wind, fouls, staying 0-2. Ryan just nodding the head as the catcher. So you've got yourselves synced up nicely. It's going to be ball 1 though. Tempting low and to the outside. Not drawing the swing. Ball 2. Again, just tempting and asking if you want to go 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Stang. And now into the third inning. It's taking us a time, but we're getting our first pitcher. Pitchers are just too efficient in getting everybody out. It's a while since we had to wait all the way for the third inning to get both of them. Anyway, McLaughlin is the one with the bat. Stang is the one that starts out with the ball. And ball 1. Sends that one low, does our Stang. Nothing, just happy to leave that. Swings and fouls that one. Makes us equal low. Nothing. Batting triple ones. Pops in the occasional hit. Have to keep everybody honest at the bottom of the order. 1-1. Line drive goes down the left field past Petrocelli, and that's going to be a run in from Carl Yastrzemski to get that one, but it's going to be the base hit comfortably. Second base runner for the Angels, and we'll go back to the top of the order as well. Jose Cardinal, not for one so far. He does represent the tying run. A teammate up there at first base. Angels down by 2 here at the top of the third. Runner at first. 2 outs though. Cardinal watches that one as it goes low as well. We're just going round. It's Stang is just working the bottom of the zone. So take your time. Make your decisions wisely. It's another one that goes low and just to the outside this time. Cardinal in from the left-hand box, batting right-handed, 2-0. 3-0. That point there. Stang going the inside. You know, he's got his left to right sorted here. Just he's trying to put a little bit less sink or just release just a little bit higher. 3-0. Lofted high, it's going centre field, it's going long. Reggie Smith on the run at the warning track and takes that out of the air. Just needs to do a little hop, get another foot or two to get that into the glove. That takes that out and a long fly ball to centre field there. If you're being generous, you'd say the wind just blew that a little bit further. It's not like Smith doesn't have the legs to catch it up. And it's 2 away. Wilson stays at first base. As we welcome in Woody Held. Struck out in the first inning. Now with 2 outs. Now it's his turn to represent the tying run. Bowls that one down the left field line from the right-handed batter. 0-1. Veteran has been, I'd say, around the horn, but he's almost quiet. He's currently has gone to the third base, but we've seen him before in his career established at shortstop in second base, so he's around half of the horn. Look at that, it's around the RN. Somebody called the nurses. Oh, you Americans aren't going to get that. RN is a registered nurse back in Scotland. 1-1 for the Cardinals. Today's bit of trivia as well. And the stretch in the 1-1. Fouled. It's up and over at the back. 1-2. Held getting the bat very low underneath that one. Stangler with enough of a drop just to keep it interesting. 1-2. Fouled once more. So we're going to stay at 1-2. Again going up high. A little bit down first base line on that one there. Held, feeling a little bit eager on the swing. Wilson taking the bit of the lead. Lance comes over from Stang from the stretch. Turns back to face. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And it's strikeout number 3 in total, and it's the third out of the inning. So there we go. 1 hit, but nothing else for the Angels on that one. 1 left on base, no runs scored. No errors charged to the Red Sox as well, and they retain their 2-run lead as we head into the bottom of the third. As you said, we've got a 3 games going on today. The game that we have here are the Philadelphia Phillies or the San Francisco Giants, Candlestick Park, and it's Minnesota Twins over at the Bronx, New York Yankees. And we will get you those scores as we go through. Quite got them down the wire just yet. And join us this evening where tonight's game is going to be the Mets at the Dodgers. Old New York and New York coming in there. Also playing tonight, Cincinnati and Atlanta, Detroit at Baltimore, Pittsburgh at Houston, and Kansas City at Washington. Today, though, it is, as we said, game 3 in a 3-game series, and the American League, it's all staying rather interesting at the top. White Sox in the lead on a 55-40 record. Boston 1.5 back from that. California 3 back from the White Sox. Detroit 4 back, and Minnesota 4.5 back. So we've got a little cluster year that have just been back and forth ticky-tack all through the season, and you get the feeling nobody's been dropping off, so it's going to be all that way through to the last week, possibly even to the last day in September. St. Louis and the Cubs are just sort of doing a little bit of a breakaway over in the National League with Cincinnati, Atlanta, San Francisco and Pittsburgh in the chasing peloton. Okay, so back here at Fenway Park as we head into the bottom of the third. Boston up by 2 to extend that lead to 9-1-2. Lee Stang, Mike Andrews and Joe Foy here to do the business. So a while since I've seen the game where we've had to have both teams go to the third inning to get you pitcher matchup, which is just speaks to the strength. So it's going to be Lee Stang receiving and Jim McLaughlin delivering, and Buck Rogers doing the catching. He's heard them all before. We'll open up with the cold strike one. McLaughlin gets ahead in the count, 0-1. And himself just taking the time there, I think, just for a huge sinker coming in there. But taking some extra time, perhaps knowing it's a pitcher, just to work out some of the bugs in the arm. I'm going to go equal on that one. Yep. Ball 1 for an equal low count. Breaks well into the inside, round the knees. 1-1. Grounder, little tap goes up. Fregosi picks that up at shortstop. It's going to go over in time to Don Mincher at first. 1 away. And Lee Stang. Well, we're going to go back to the top of the orders. Mike Andrews. Not for one so far. Flew out deep into right field to start the game. Confidence placed in the rookie, though, once more from Boston manager Dick Williams. As that one goes. Ball 1. Often just looking to work that inside corner with a lot more speed than we're seeing off Stang. Fouls that one. Go 1-1. And it was a 1-1 on the previous matchup as well. Andrews flew out. Practice swing or two from the shoulder before steadying in. Lothin nods and takes the first offered pitch from Rogers. 1-1, wind. Liner straight into Fregosi's glove there. Line drive out. Fregosi there, positioning himself perfectly for Andrews. Shallow swing there. 2 up, 2 down. Joe Foy's going to come in now. Not for 2 as well. Go round out across the corners in the first. Does like getting on base, so he's going to expect to see him work hard to carry that on. 2 away for Boston. 2 runs up here in the bottom of the third. Defense is holding the Angels, and the offense is doing what's needed as well. We see ball 1. Homer in the first, homer in the second. Joe Foy isn't necessarily going to go for that unless he sees it. Discipline has always been one of his key parts of his armory. Lets that one go for ball 2. Still fast and low. McLaughlin. Called strike 1. 2-1. Foy just happy to wait it. Staying calm. Give me any signs of this being anything more than a Thursday afternoon stroll in the park. Fouls that one. Pushes it out to the side. Count goes equal high. 2 away so far for Boston here, bottom of the third. Foy facing a 2-2. Gets ball 3. Green Monsters lights are all on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pretty much the definition of something is gonna happen. Payoff pitch comes down, fouled off there. Fast and hard down the first base line, but gonna drift into the crowds. Back and do it all again. Three, 2. Strike 3, swung through and miss. It's the worst strikeout from McLaughlin. And now with that, side is retired. Zeros on your sheet, no hits, no runs, none left on base, and no opportunities for any errors from the side of the Angels. That's not true, there have been opportunities. There's a little bit of ground play going on short to first. Everybody just keeping everything sensible. Nothing stupid. Nothing out of the ordinary. This broadcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you could be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you and get 65% off your first order. Top of the 4th, and Jim Fregosi, who's as always the cornerstone out there at shortstop, is going to be opening up Don Mincher and Jimmy Hall, set to follow him. California Angels still to score. Boston with 2 on the board. Lee Stagg steps onto the mound once more. Opening pitcher into the 4th. Opens up with ball 1. Wilsey lets that one go. High count on the walks this year. Also has a nice habit of threading the needle around your outfield as well. 1-0. Comes down. Grounder. It's not going to go anywhere beyond Mike Andrews. Takes out at second. Over to George Scott at first. And that's a good comfy 4-3 there. Andrews, maybe just a little bit of a stretch over to his right to get that one, but nothing felt anything more than routine. Don Mincher is going to be in now for the Angels. Mincher flew out in the second inning. Patience not rewarded. As we see ball one. Stang there, just carving that one very slightly too far past the edge. 1-0. Fouled off there. Count equal low. 1-1. Boston defense stepped in just a little bit on this one, actually. Expecting just a gentle tight play from Mincher. 1-1. Hit high but shallow. Joe Foy taking a little bit of a back pedal from third base. Gloves in the sky, balls in the glove. Out number 2. Foy taking the opportunity just to pop that one into the crowd. The little Red Sox fans got a souvenir on that one. Angels, just the 2 runners that have made it up to first so far. Nobody's scoring position yet. Former Twins Jimmy Hall going to come in now. Veteran used to the clutch situations. 4th inning down 2. Do you say that's clutch yet? Not quite sure. Fouls. First pitch for 0-1. Hall has been one of those 2 players that's reached first base. Singled in the second. 0-1 with the wind. Ball 1. So we're going to go equal low. All just itching on the bat. Cold strike 2. It's going to be 1-2. There's another just a moment or 2 of pause from our home plate umpire Bill Haller. And hitting the bottom of the zone. And we're just taking time and getting his own framing picture. No runners on as yet here in the 4th for the Angels. 1-2. Line drive up the centre. Petrocelli sits wide underneath him. Smith's going to have to pick that one up there as Hull turns the corner from first, goes up to second. Smith throws that down. It's wide. It's wide past it. And Hull's going to carry on and take himself round to third. The slide's going to be in time. And the Red Sox. The little bit of confusion in all of that there. I see Hull with a trip. I don't think that's going to go down as a triple. That's going to be the double and on error. Yeah, that's going to be the double and on error. Line drive goes up, gets underneath Petrocelli at shortstop. And Reggie Smith having to run in from the centre field as that one tickled itself along the ground. And lofted that one in towards Mike Andrews at second, but it was an overthrow. And with that, Hull scrambled himself back up to the feet to dive down to third base. So there we are. 1 run is 90 feet away from home. It's going to be Roger Repos comes up as the tying run for the Angels. The teammate up there on third base. Repos flew out in the second. At that point, Hall was on first. It's a little bit of deja vu, but just a little bit more pressure as that's fouled off for the first time. So 0-1. Ball's just not quite stepping out of the box, but leaning back and settles back in now to be ready. And Stang throws that one and it hurls low for 0-2. And just takes the glance over to third base, but with 2 outs, Hall is he's going to be careful. Don't get yourself out at third if you can help it. 0-2 for Repos. Goes ball 1. Lets that go to the outside. Lefty quite happy to watch that breakaway. Not be tempted for that. 1-2. It's another to the outside. There's another that's left. 2-2. Stang just keeping a wary eye. Of course, a right-handed pitcher. Eyeball Jimmy Hall from the mound. Hall taking a huge lead as we get a 2-2. Focus turns back to Repose. Goes straight, ball 3. It's going to be called ball, so we are going to put all the lights on, but leave Orange saying 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, down by 2 in the 4th, and you've got 1 run 90 feet away from home up at third base. Payoff comes down. Contact grounder, bounces up. George Scott's got that at first. Stang's going to be underneath for the pitcher. Foot on the first bag, and that's the out there. Repose looking for the gap between first and second, but Scott's got it covered. And his pitcher comes underneath there to get himself out of that jam. Runner all the way around to third, but ultimately that one hit is left on base for the Angels. No run scored, 1 error charged to Boston there. The errant throw from Reggie Smith gave Hall the extra legs from second down to third, but as it was, pitched and grounded out of the damage there for the Red Sox. So they retain their 2-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th. To promise you the scores that we have so far, I've got those in my hand now. 2-day games to keep an eye on. The Phillies, the Giants, and the Twins, the Yankees. And through 3, it's 2 radically different games, although in both of them the visitors are enjoying themselves. Twins up by 1 over the Yankees, and the Phillies 8. The Phillies 8 past the Giants over there at Candlestick. I suspect the wind may have done what it always loves to do and just make things confusing. Okay, 1, 2, 3 for Boston for the bottom of the 4th. Carl Yastrzemski, Tony Conigliaro, and George Scott. 2 home runners in there as well from Yaz and Scott. So we'll see if they can repeat that feat. Tim McLaughlin coming back out, starting pitcher, also going into his 4th as the visitors. And called strike 1 to open up Boston in the 4th, 0-1. That's just swinging the bat loose, taking all the pressure on the shoulders from the team. As we get ball 1. This time the eyebrows rate goes in Carl's favour. He'll take contact if that's offered, but he'll be thinking about the monster in the fences. 1-1 comes down. Fouled! And that pushes itself just outside the first base line there. 1-2. Bouncing nicely in the corners as well. Nicely if you're Boston. 1-2. It's hit high again. It's going down center field. Repose is taking 2 or 3 steps to the side on the warning track, and I think that's enough to say he's got that one there. Caught out there on the warning track with just a few steps. Said Repose position almost perfectly, walks into the wind. And that's going to be the first out of the 4th. and gives Yaz a 1-2 games. We welcome in Tony Canigliaro. Popped out behind the catcher in the first, closing that out. Slugger with the power. Everyone hide his emotions here at Fenway. Ball 1. 1-0 to start off with. And just smiling on that one. Certainly just looking comfortable and composed. Nothing, just a little bit tighter in the shoulders. Heart of the order that's already done a lot of damage. Oh, that's ball 2. Tony Canigliaro working himself ahead in the count. 5-0, Boston 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 away, and it's a 2-0 goes fouled. Take 2-1 on that one. Canigliaro getting under the ball and pushing that one high enough, but comfortably into the stands. 2-1. Line drive down centre field. This is the time report's going to have to take more than a few steps, and he does there. Throws down to Jim Fregosi, who's going to do the cut-off at that and hold Canigliaro to first. But we got ourselves first base occupied. 2 home runs so far, but we got ourselves a clean hit there and a single. So Canigliaro's 306 coming into the game. It's going to lift up slightly as we get George Scott, second home run hero for Boston. Oh, one there and a quite high there actually. So both of them just having a bit of a fun release issue there. Yeah, heading back to the rosin bag to check out the grip. She's given up the hit as well, so we'll take a moment to compose himself. Scott is aggressive, he'll pounce on anything. The effort, just 1 away so far, runner at first. Ball 2. That one's at least not sky high. It's the bottom of the zone, but doesn't break far enough. It's close to the edge. 2-0. Fouled. Up again once more. Nothing, just losing a little bit of the drop this time. See a switch now over to just a little bit more speed to make up for that. 2-1. Fouled off there. That bounces onto the ground at the feet for careening off. 2-2. Petrushelli on deck. Got facing a 2-2. Looks at it, leaves it. All 3. Three and 2. Canigliaro at first. Scott at bat. It's another 2-run lead here. 3-2 comes down. Line straight towards Bobby Knoop at second. Bits of foot in the back. There's 1 out. Throws down to Don Minchin at first. Throw is going to be in time for the double play. And side retired in the 4th there. And Scott bounces that one across the ground up towards Bobby Knoop at second. The arrow forced out before Scott run up down at first. And with that, side is retired, and no advances there from Boston. Get the 1 hit, Canigliaro, but nothing coming out of there. None left on base, no runs, no errors charged to the Angels. So through 4, Red Sox up by 2 from home runs in the first and second. This podcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you could be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you and get 65% off your first order. 4 played here at Fenway, and Red Sox are taking the lead in this deciding game of the 3-game series. It's 6-4 to California on Tuesday, and then it was 9-6 to Boston on Wednesday, and so far today it's 4-0 to Boston here on Thursday. Bottom of the order here for the top of the 5th, I like that. 7, 8, 9, Rogers, Knoop and McLaughlin going to be leading the way. Between them, it's the 1 hit from 3 across the 2nd and 3rd innings. We'll start with Buck Rogers. Likes his contact. Leaves that one though for ball 1. Flew out to a right field in the 2nd inning. Going to be a 1 count there, but here we're now 1-0, going to 2-0. 4 home runs on the season, 244 in the box. Extends the count though, 3-0. Just giving himself a bundle of choices, whether to wait for the right or make the swing. So 3-0. Takes that one and sends it high down right field, but it's going to be a doubtful Tony Canigliaro catch out there. And there's one away. Rogers with a fly out to left and now a fly out to right. Peppering the corners. Bobby Knoop comes in now. Opening up with ball 1. He would have loved to have base runner ahead of him so he can do some hit and run, some damage. As it is, the tying run is going to stay on deck for the moment. That's Jim McLaughlin. Knoop sees ball 2. Quite happy to wait on this one. Second baseman, 43 for the season. I'm sure with the running errors, that's pretty much the same as Rogers before him. We get ball 3 now. 3-0 in the count. 1 away for the Angels, chasing a 2-run lead by Boston here in the top of the 5th. Ball 4. And I think that's going to be our first walk of the evening. Knoop takes himself up to first base. 4th base runner. 4th hit, 3 hits and the first walk. As we get our next pitcher, the pitcher. McLaughlin will be in the box and drew a single out of his compatriot Lee Stang in the 3rd, although that didn't amount to anything. Ball 1. So McLaughlin is going to get himself ahead. Angels chasing that 2-run lead, which takes us to 1-1. McLaughlin just maintaining eye contact. A little bit of psychology going on here as well. Fouls that one away. 1-2. And gets ahead in this pitcher. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Third strike of the evening for Stang, and 2 away now from the Angels. They will go to the top of the order with a runner at first. That's Jose Cardinal, who's 0 for 2 in the game so far. Human's got the speed if he can get himself on base. He's the tying run at the moment. Go ahead is going to be Woody Held, who's on deck at the moment. Cardinal takes ball 1. Cardinal, 230 for the season. He has been drawing walks in that, so interesting choice to lead off. We see ball 2. Just need to bring in the base runners. Work this game 90 feet at a time. Boston with just a 2-run lead. Very little in it, you have to say. You see ball 3. Cardinal does get on the base. He likes to sort of dance and jinx around in the corner of your eye. Bobby Knoop not really doing that at first base, just keeping it steady. 3-0. Ball 4. Ball 4. It's going to be another walk drawn. So, still got the command to get the strikeouts. There's 2 walks issued. Woody Held steps in now. Teammates at first and second, so he's the go-ahead. Top of the 5th here, Angels still to get a run on the board. Boston getting up 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Fouls that one fast and hard. Goes down third base line. But it's comfortably into the crowd and no panic there. 0-1. Just keeps an eye out. Knoop taking a little bit of a lead at first, but Cardinal really just staying close to the bag, so putting too much pressure on Stang. Ball 1 comes in there, 1-1. I think they'd want a little bit more pressure, but 2 outs so far. They're going to have to play that one easy. This ball 2 is a Stang throws an off-speed low. 2-1. Line drive. Big hit goes down the left field there. Knoop is on the run. Passes third. He's going to bring himself in at that one there. So 1-1 scores. Cardinal over the third. And Held is going to give himself an RBI single. Left field line drive. Bounces maybe about 15-20 feet in front of Yaz, who has to scoop that one up off the ground. And a little look round at the options and throws that to Petrocelli, who's going to run that as a cut-off at short and hold everybody at the corners, but not before we get the first run on the board for the Angels. I mean, reaching on the walk, then pushed another 90 feet on a second walk. Line drive out of left field brings him all the way home. So, runners at the corners, and deficit cut by 1. Fregosi steps in now, not 2 games so far. And has a habit of finding the gaps, does Fregosi. And one more of those gaps would likely bring in another run home. Fouls the first one off, 0-1. Fregosi both grounding out, second of first, so Mike Andrews keeping himself alert on this one. Wouldn't think he would go to the same spot. And you wouldn't think that you wouldn't think that he's going the same spot. Oh, strike 2. 0-2 Fregosi. Runners at the corners, first and third, 2 away here at the top of the 5th. And it's California Angels 1, Boston Red Sox 2. One run in it. Stretch for the 0-2. Line drive goes up centre field. That's going to bring home Cardinal. And Helder's going to be held up at second base on that one. Smith coming in and getting that one sharply off the ground. But there you go. The game is tied. Fregosi driving in Cardinal. Next on walk, then got over to the opposite corner on Held's RBI single. And now another RBI single brings Cardinal home as well. 2 walks, 2 hits in the innings so far for Stang. As catcher Mike Ryan has jogged out just to have a little quiet word with him. Calm the nerves is down as Don Mincher. Not for 2 games so far. Now runners at first and second in a tied game. As I would say back home, the Angels' dander is up. Don Mincher. So not back to Mike Ryan, the Red Sox catcher, who's back from the mound and settles back down, hunkering behind the base. And we're going to be underway once more. Ball 1. Runners at first and second, remember. Joe watches that one go low. He'll take ball 2. 2 away. He's going to have to swing carefully, or he's going to look for the score. Sure, any contact. Foul or score. That's a foul. It's 2-1. Just takes his time. Yeah, 279 for the average. Perhaps a little less important than those 50 RBIs that he's already brought through this year. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. Mincher looking steady here. Stang. Shoulders up very, very slightly. 2-2 count. Just shake out the muscles. It's going to be a stretch. High and long. It's going down the right field line. Canigliaro just looking up and watching it go over the fence. No option to get that one there. Home run. And that's going to bring home Woody Held from second base. Fregosi's going to make it all the way around from first, and Mincher takes the tour, touches all the bags, and with that, a 3 RBI home run. It's going to go from 2 runs down to a 3-run lead, putting up 5 on the board so far. And now it's Jimmy Hall, who's 2 for 2 so far in the game as well, keeping the pressure if he can on the Red Sox. Twins veteran with a single and a double. Next ball 1. There's that double. So throwing error from Reggie Smith, put him all the way around to third base, but Red Sox were able to get the ground out, get themselves out of that jam. Base is cleared though, so the jam's already been spread, and we're starting again to build up the bases. All in 1-0. Grounder goes up. Andrews takes that one over to George Scott at first base, and there's the third out for the top of the 5th, but not before a significant amount of damage has been done. 8 batters faced in there, 3 hits, and out of that 5 runs being delivered. None left on base. So that home run clearing drop just before the end of the inning from Don Mincher. But you got to say, leading off with 2 walks, lined up everything for the Angels to take that gift and cash it in. Cash it in they did. So Red Sox behind for the first time in this game as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Petrocelli, Smith and Ryan are going to be your 1, 2, 3. As always, thank you for listening to Classic Baseball Radio. Support our recreations with a small pledge at ko-fi.com/classic baseball radio. You'll be able to listen to again to some of the classic games in what I believe is called a podcast. And you can tune in later tonight here for more action from the 1967 season, as we've got games in Atlanta, Baltimore, Houston, LA and Washington. Right now, San Francisco and the Bronx, and we'll get some more details from them at our next break. Boston, just 2 runs on the board from the first and second innings, but they've just had 5 runs put on the board from California to take it to a 5-2 game. Petrocelli, 0 for 1 so far. We are looking to cut that deficit, so tying run is all the way back in the hole. First is foul off, so not on 1 for the Red Sox shortstop. 289 for the season. Those methodical players. And it's all about getting the runs in, letting the defence be solid. Well, there's a little wobble there at the top of the 5th. Defence is held steady there. The offence, though, it's only 2 home runs. There's really been any base running action apart from Cagliaro in the last. As that's going to be high, it's going to stay around about the 3rd base. Held is going to walk out into foul territory and take that one on a stroll for the first out. My ball down 3rd base side, foul territory. Reggie Smith in now, also in a 0 for 1 game. Switch hitter sending is going to come in from the right hand side this time. That is going to benefit McLaughlin, but perhaps just shaking up himself after having come in from using the left hand in the previous appearance. And ball 1. Malcolm throws that to break the opposite way. Going to be inside Petrocelli's eyes, but inside on the switched way around. Ball 2. Temptation was offered, temptation not taken. So that one just drops out heavily off the curb. 2-0. Fouls that one there. 2-1. No runners on as yet, as we've just had 1 out so far. Smith facing a 2-1. Takes that. Called strike. 2-2 there, so we're going to equalise it all up high. With 245 for the season, 6 home runs. 6, 7, 8 here. Watches that one for ball 3. So rather than Ted Rogers' way of doing it, 3 balls, 2 strikes and 1 out. Smith staying in the box, but only now signalling that he's ready. The off comes down. Grounder goes up there. Don Mincher picks that one up. He takes some steps to the bag. You know what, McLaughlin's going to come in and take that as the pitcher on the run. And the foot on the bag as well. Another 3-1. Both pitchers having a 3-1 and taking the ball over to the bag. It's 2 away. Red Sox struggling so far to reply to the 5 spot from the California Angels. Catcher Mike Ryan comes in now. Yet again, he's not in a position to work his sacrifice or bunt skills. 2 ahead of him, both out so far. It's going to be a called strike 1 there. Not in 1. Ryan, you have to, again, did you say this is clutch yet? We're more than halfway through the game and you suddenly find your team on the back foot. Not one. Swung on, goes high, he's down the right field line. Jimmy Hull is going to have to run and get that one. He does the dive, takes that on the dive. Out there in the right field to finish and close out the inning. Diving catches a fly ball into outer right field. All taking that one into his own hands with just a little bit of a dive. No showboating at the end of that one. Picks it up, tosses it into the crowd, heads straight towards the dugout. 3 up, 3 down. Well, the Angels defense doing what they needed to do to reward the offense. 5 runs in the top of the inning, no reply from Boston, so it's a 5-2 game. And no runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. Zeros all the way down. This podcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you could be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal, it's broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you, and get 65% off your first order. Top of the 6th here at Fenway, and the California Angels putting themselves into the driving seat with 5 runs in the 5th. Boston's 2 home runs in the 1st and 2nd. That all gives us our 5-2 score that we are facing now, as we have Roger Repose, Buck Rogers and Bobby Knoop stepping in for the Angels here. It's the 6, 7, 8 in the order. And they'll be looking to build on the 3-run lead that they have. Lee Stagg continuing to pitch as our opener goes into the 6th. Mike Ryan is going to be catching as well. And yeah, opening up a Roger Repose, who's on a not for 2 games so far. Quite finding the production that is giving him a 280 for the season. The centre fielder just been taking it easy out there. So the peppering has been going out to the corners, and they've spent time just trying to work out how to deal with the green monster, and nothing needed on that as yet. First pitch, heads up high, and it's heading towards the monster. Reggie Smith has feet planted underneath that one, and he's going to take that there for the first out. And I've spent a whole bunch of time with some university radio fans going, there's no such thing as the commentator's curse. They cannot hear you, it doesn't impact the game. Honestly, there is no commentator's curse, okay? Buck Rogers in just now, not for 2 game. And flown out to left, flown out to right. You know, there's one missing there, isn't there? Okay, right, let's get underway in third. Stein gets ready for the first pitch towards Rogers, and that's going to be hit high. Smith's indicating that he's going to have that one as well. And it's a fly out to centre. 2 pitches, 2 catches out there in the corner underneath the warning flagpole. A little bit of crowd to the left to be monster to the right. Here I am in centre field. Bobby Knoop. See, here's the thing now. You don't believe me, you do believe me, doesn't matter what I say. That's why there's no commentator's curse. Because there's so many options, so many pitches, so many balls, so many strikes, so many lofts, so many hits and catches. There is at some point you're going to predict them, and those are the only ones you remember. Oh, that one off high, so goes in the outfield. Reggie Smith is just now pretending to run for a mystery ball, and catches air and throws the air into the crowd. Nope, it's not on 1. Bobby Knoop follows that one back over the screen. Stang has the actual ball now, so not one. Line drive down third base line, that's going to be a base hit. And Joe Foy watches that one, and Petrocelli is going to just intercept that one. The throw goes over, but it's more to keep the arm steady. That's not going to be in time. So that's going to be a single. Second baseman Bobby Knoop takes himself up. That's going to welcome in pitcher moment number 4. Although it's going to be the 3rd time that we've seen it this way. Jim McLaughlin is going to be receiving. Lee Stang is going to be hurling. McLaughlin's is 1 for 2 so far, and now has teammate Bobby Knoop up there, first base. McLaughlin squares up the shoulders. Grinder heads towards Joe Foy at third, throws over George Scott to the corners. It's Mo, it's wide! It's gone wide! Scott's going to have to scurry back and get that one there, but McLaughlin is going to get himself comfortable on that first base. So that's going to be an E5. Poor throw over the corners from Joe Foy. Scott gets that past him, has to scurry towards the wall to get that one. Bobby Knoop takes himself up to second, just holds off there. And McLaughlin gets himself on at first. So runners at first and second. Second error from the Boston defense. One to the outfield, one to the infield. And we're going to go to the top of the order now. Jose Cardinal. 2 runners on, 2 outs so far. And the California Angels up by 3 and looking dangerous over this inning as well. And that's going to fly up, it's going towards right field. Tony Canigliari is on the run in to get that one, slows down, put the glove in the air, and he's going to take that one there. And that one there, a little bit of catch by the wind, but gets the Red Sox out of a jam here in a deciding game of a 3-game series. It's that right field fly will end the inning. Error on the board there for Boston. 1 hit as well. 2 left on base, but no runs scored, so a scrappy inning for the Red Sox defense. They've got out of that one, and the lead remains at 3. Speaking of leads, as we look around the rest of the league, as I said, 2D games going on that we're keeping an eye on for you. Philadelphia Phillies put 8 past the Giants in the 3rd, and it's stayed steady still then. Phillies on 8, Giants on nothing. A little bit of action over in the Bronx as well. Twins putting on 1 run to take them to 2, but the Yankees have put on 4. So they're in the control seat there. Twins 2, Yankees 4. Later on today, we'll have Cincinnati at Atlanta, Detroit at Baltimore, Pittsburgh at Houston, Mets at LA Dodgers, and Kansas City at Washington. So keep yourself tuned here to Classic Baseball Radio. We'll have those games for you in the evening, and then we're doing the LA game. Do we know Cruz doing it yet? Not yet. No. Okie doke. Bottom of the 6, Red Sox down by 3. It's 2 home runs at the start, and gave them an opportunity to control the game, but the Angels have wrestled that back. It's a 9-1-2. That's it for Lee Stang as we welcome in Jose Tartabull, who's going to be pinch hitting for Stang. So it's a fresh, strong bat. Boston look to close down that deficit. It's an open up with ball 1. Boston, first time seeing Tartabull in this game. And gives him ball 2 as well. Side on that one there, but both breaking fast. Foul! And Tartabull off that one there to take us to 2-1. That one low and inside again. Nothing's found the break. 6 and again, ball 3. Offered for the swing, but swing declined. 3-1. Incredible pinch hitting. Fouls that one away. Takes the count full. Bottom of the 6. Your opening batter is a Turnbull. 248, but with a full count. Swing and a miss there. Swing and a miss there, struck out, and the second strikeout from McLaughlin in the game. And we're going to go back to the top of the order with Mike Andrews for the Red Sox, but a 1 away and 3 runs down in the bottom of the 6th. Ricky's not for 2. 357, 5 home runs, 23 RBI for the season, so steady performance. And he watches that one for ball 1. Nothing, just losing a little bit of control. The break is there, speed is there, but the sink is just a little bit too much so far. Again, sinking out the way. 2-0. Andrews just putting the hand up and bringing that back down. Cole takes us to 2-1. Flew out to the right field and then line out straight to the shortstop previously for Andrews. 2-1. Low and takes us 3-1. Andrews with a full count. Deep counts that we've seen him drag out hits and on bases previously. So 3-1. It's been caught underneath. It's going to go out high. Jimmy Hill is going to take that one out in the right field. Yep. And that's another Andrews to Hill there, flying out the right field. 2 away. Boston still trying to pick themselves up after that monster top of the 5th from the Angels. 3 up, 3 down. Then and now 2 up, 2 down. We have Joe Foy come in now. It's going to be a cold strike 1. Foy with the ground out and a strikeout so far. Bowls that one away. Goes behind further, not in 2. Glothin just feeling in control. Throon's son is well over the yard arm. See fastball, ball 1, just a little bit to the outside there on Foy. 1-2. Carrying on with another scorcher of a day. Mercury up to 86 here, but enough of a breeze to lure you into thinking the sun is not as strong as it actually is, as we see ball 2. Ball 2 for a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Also with 2 runs on the board against the California Angels 5. It's the wind for 2-2. Grounder up to shortstop. Fregosi gets that one down to Don Mincher at first base, who gets that in time and side retired for the 6th inning. It was 3 up, 3 down in reply to that monster 5th, and it's 3 up, 3 down. Boston not getting a grip of this game. The early leads has been promising, but nothing catching up. Angels on top of it with multiple hits on those first 4 innings before working out how to get them over home plate in the 5th. So it's 5-2 towards the Angels here at Fenway. This broadcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem. You can be exploited by one bad actor amongst the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you and get 65% off your first order. So no runs, no hits, none left on base there for Boston in the bottom of the 6th. No errors to the Angels, and the Angels now have a 2-3-4. Woody Hell, Jim Fregosi and Don Mincher. And we welcome in our new pitcher, Jose Santiago. Lee Stang pulled back to the bench for the pinch hitter in the previous inning. The final line for Stang is going to be 6 innings pitched for 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, and he's currently on the hook for the loss. Jose Santiago finishing with the warm-up pitches there. As our field mic comes back up. Woody Held is on a 1-for-3 game. An RBI single in the 5th. Kicked off the scoring. Fouls his first one off there for 0-1. Swinging in early and sending that down the third base line. Called strike 2. Well, 2 there. Held wily old head on the shoulders. Loves to pounce on the mistakes in the pitching. Certainly had the weakness from Stang earlier. Santiago at the moment showing much of that, not 2. Grounder goes up, Petrocelli picks that one up there over the corner. George Scott's going to take that one at first, I think. Yep, and there we are. Santiago's first pitcher face is going to be a ground out. Shortstop to first. Fregosi coming in now, also an RBI single in the 5th. And a 1-for-3 game out of that as well. Even the ball comfortably on the ground for all of those. It's comfortable if you're the Boston defense, a 4-3 and a 4-3. Santiago, another curver, but with a lot more pace. So all the eyes and the comforts and rhythm that people would have got from Stang, well, Santiago's going to shift that up again like a good reliever tends to do. As we get taking us to 1-1 on the count. It's the one away so far. We'll see, hoping to keep that single from the previous inning, find the gap. That's that one go past him though. And the good eye for 2-1. Santiago, very much a reliever in the middle of the game. Not expect them to go right to the end. There's going to be more bullpen action you could feel. Get ball 3. 3-1. Fregosi. Santiago shaking off the suggestion from Mike Ryan. Nods on that one. Wind for the 3-1. Ball 4. And that's going to be a walk up to first for Jim Fregosi. Last time he was establishing first base. Don Mincher dropped a 3 RBI home run. Just giving California the lead. 5-2 game here at Fenway. Top of the 7th, Don Mincher, the aforementioned home run, comes in as well. Swings hard and fouls that one high down the left field line. little bit early on the swing there. Not in one. Swing and a miss. Not in two. Giving a light to go heavy on the bat, I think. Not two. Up to second base. It's going to be picked up Mike Andrews. Foot on one bag. There we go. Down to Driscoll. Foot on the second bag there. Double play to end the inning. Grounder going up towards Mike Andrews at second with all the time in the world to turn the body round. Fire the ball down to Scott at first to take the double play and end the seventh. At least the top half. Side retired there. No runs, no hits, none left on base. No errors charged to the Red Sox defense. This time for the honourable tradition of, oh, this chair's got me sitting down too much, I need to stretch my legs. Seventh inning stretch coming up here at Fenway Park. California Angels 5, Red Sox 2. We pause now for station identification. You're listening to Classic Baseball Radio, and you can support our recreations with a small pledge at ko-fi.com/Classic Baseball Radio. And don't forget to link, like, love, share and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify or wherever you follow your podcasts. Bottom of the seventh, and the Red Sox are down by 3 against that man again. Carl Yastrzemski, followed by Tony Canigliaro and George Scott. Home run, single and home run from these three previously. And Boston would really like to see that again. It's a Italian American League all the way through from April, and it looks like it's going to be that way through to the end of the season as well. Boston, having spent so many years languishing in the bottom, hoping this is the year they can flip the table upside down. Currently second, 1.5 behind the White Sox. Ball one opens up here as we have Jim McLaughlin still on the bump and pitching for the Angels. Yastrzemski, 1 for 2 so far, and that one would be a solo shot home run in the first. Go out to centre field previously. It's going to be that's going to be ball 2. As for the season, 326, 24 home runs, that's 25 now. And a 72 RBI now there as well, adding to those numbers all the time. And yeah, there's very much a triple crown potential there when the season ends. But we still have some way to go, but there's no such thing as a commentator's curse. Okay? Ball 3 comes down there. McLaughlin is putting the power and letting that break just a little bit towards the outside of Yastrzemski's reach. 3-0. Lofted high, it's going long. I don't think it's going to have the legs for poses underneath that, signalling, I was going to say, for a fair catch, but it's the wrong game of ball, isn't it? But it's into the glove anyway. And that's a fly ball at the centre field once more. Yastrzemski makes it to a 1 for 3 game. Okay, Tony Canigliaro comes in now, 1 for 2. A single in the fourth. Boston down by 3 here at Fenway. Bottom of the 7th now. Boston needing to get themselves back into this game. Canigliaro, bat on the shoulder, ready to go. And that one's up short space. Fregosi's going to take that one, throw over to Mincher. It's going to throw wide. It's going to wide into the wall, and it's going to be waved round. Cagliaro's going to get himself up to second. It's going to be a stand-up into second. It's going to be called an error. As I lean over and look at the scorers, it's going to be called an error. That poor throw from Tony Cagliari is going to be the first error charged to the Angels. But for Boston, the more important is not the error column. They've got a runner up into scoring position. Those 2 home runs don't count, I think, so it's going to be the first established at second base. George Scott is going to step in now. Onward to open up the second. Got a 2 main up. Second base in scoring, so it is the go-ahead is in the hole. Tying run is on deck. So you see ball 1. Scott just lets that one go past. Power's been on show. To be careful with the aggression though. 1 away so far. As he lets that one go by for ball 2. And McLaughlin just changing up the pace of the ball and the plays. That one's going to get fouled. 2-1. Scott sitting there, down low, over the ankles, almost taking up a catcher's position in the box. Pushes himself up now. McLaughlin has the ball. 2-1. Fouls that one there. It's going to go briefly hard down the first base line, but it's the wrong side of the line. 2-2. Roll glance back. McLaughlin over his shoulder. Cagliaro at second base. Turns back to face Scott with a 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's going to be struck out, and just a second strike out for McLaughlin in the game. But he's had a keen moment. So the runner remains up on second, but it's a 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Boston looking to cut a 3-run lead from the Angels. So 2 away is Rico Petrocelli comes in now. 0 for 2. Ball 1, it goes to the outside. McLaughlin, rare spot for McLaughlin to reach there. Offering and hoping for the grounder. See if he offers that again. 1-0. Grounder, that's going to go up. Fregosi gets that again. Takes a moment, looks, no, he's going to do Don Mincher to get that at first base. Keeping the control and practiced. And his side is retired on that one. And in a third base, I think Cagliaro is going, but it's a comfortable throw out at first. Now with that, 1 left on base, coming from 1 error, but no hits and no runs for the Boston Red Sox. Boston's offense not lining up, defense not quite catching as well. California Angels 5, Boston Red Sox 2, so that's 6 outs left for the Red Sox offense to line up, and they'll need their defense to hold steady through that as well. Into the 8th we go, and it's going to be Hall Ripples and Rogers when we get there. This broadcast is sponsored by the North Seal Wax Company. Keeping your personal mail private is an ever-growing problem, and you can be exploited by one bad actor and the many people who handle your letters. 3 drops of North Seal Wax will allow you to know if anyone has tampered with your mail. A broken seal means broken privacy. Head to your local Boston North Seal Wax store on 57 Newbury Street. Tell them Classic Baseball Radio sent you and get 65% off your first order. For the Angels, it is going to be Jimmy Hall, Roger Repose, and Buck Rogers. As you 1, 2, 3, it's 5, 6, 7 on the lineup card for those of you keeping track at home, and I know many of you do. Hall, 2 for 3 so far in the game with a single, a double, and a ground out. Jose Santiago is going to stay on the bump for second inning, and we shall open up with ball 1 as that goes low. One of the many veterans on the Angels bench that have been brought in. The team itself eager to establish itself against some of the heritage teams, as we see that one get a cold strike one. There goes 1-1. Of course, one of those storied teams is the Boston Red Sox, so new and the old facing themselves here, obviously with the old and the Angels and the young on the Red Sox. As we see ball 2, low and to the inside here. Hall batting left-handed. Santiago just keeping an intense focus on his catcher. Brian giving the signals. That's fouled. Low, fast, and into the Angels' dugout there, so we'll go 2-2. Full high count. Santiago gets the ball back. So he asks for that one back to the dugout. Moment of hard steering we've seen. 2-2. And sails past. Hull watches it go for ball 3. So count goes full. Santiago into the wind. Payoff. Up to third base. Comfortably picked up. Joe High takes that one. Across the diamond to Scott at first. And there's one away. Out on the 5-3. Probably the danger part of the first 3 coming through. Both Repose and Rogers coming up are both 0 for 3. It'll be the first time that Santiago has faced them. Repose in now. No runners on as yet. 3-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Repose takes ball 1. And Repose just a complete contrast. Been around the block here, it's former New York Yankee. Smooth swing on there. I mean, it's not got him on base as yet today. Watches ball 2. Go to the inside. Repose is batting left-handed, so a bit of opposite break coming there from Santiago. 2-0. It's going to go foul. Long way down the first base line. Distance is there. This needs to come in maybe about 10 feet or so towards the left. 2-1. Gold! Straight 2. And equal high. Santiago. Very little movement outside of the pitches. Glance around with the eyes, as that one goes high. Looks like an early release there from Santiago. Tiny shake of the head, no more. Yeah, it certainly looks like he's a rage of emotions at that one. Not going through. Full count. Payoff pitch. And that's a bunt. It's a little trickler. It's going to head up towards the mound. Santiago takes that one, scrambles it over to Scott, but it's not going to be in time. Repose is going to get over there to first. Takes all the speed out of that pitch and gets you straight down. Perfectly placed bunt. As you see, Repose sprinting up to first as Santiago runs in from the mound. Ryan runs up from the catcher's spot. Santiago scrambles that one over, but killed pace and the ball went into Repose's legs. So, runner at first. Sweet welcome in Buck Rogers. catcher, 244 for the season. Really does like making contact and getting the base runner shifted over. It's one away, so there are some options here. Fouls the first one away though. Low and down the left field line. Runner up first, one away. Top of the 8th here. Angels 5, Red Sox 2. Goes up towards second base. Andrews is going to get that one comfortably. Santiago is sprinting to cover first and does take that one there at first. So run out. Second now away. Pulls, takes himself up to second, but Roger goes out on a 5-1. It was since done a 5-1. Scott was just playing just a little bit deeper from first base, and Andrews just having it a little bit more shallow. Bobby Knoop in now. Teammate Hall up in scoring position in repose. Up himself. 1 for 2 and a walk drawn as well. He sees ball 1. Gets himself get ahead in the count. Strikeout, walk, and a single on the card. Fouls that one. A little bit eager and early on that one. Which is down the right field line. 1-1. And that one goes outside low. Ball 2. Santiago just keeping that stare in for the second inning. Our arms warming up in the bullpen. 2 away. It's going to be ball 3. 3-1. Santiago can close out the inning here. Don't know if he'll be allowed to go any further than that. 3-1 on Knoop. Runner up at second. Fouls that one there. A little bit early on the swing. So, count goes full. Third full count of the inning. Santiago. Not sure if he shook that one off there. Such a tiny movement, but there is another signal coming up from Ryan, hiding in the catcher. And comes set. 3-2. That's going to be hit up high. It's going to be relatively short though down the right field. Canigliaro is going to be running in on that one, but it's still a comfortable catch, even at speed. So side retired, a single, and another 90 feet to get up into scoring position for Roger Repose, but no more than that. Red Sox defense keeps the deficit at 3. So bottom of the 8th. 3 runs to find, 3 outs left in the 8th, 3 in the 9th if you're going to need them. We do have some scores from elsewhere. Over on the West Coast, Phillies on 8 runs, San Francisco Giants on 3. Giants are just closing that in the last 2 innings. And up in the Bronx it stayed steady through 5, Twins 2, Yankees 4, and now through 7, Twins 2, Yankees 4. 1, 2, 3 is slight changes here. Reggie Smith is going to be up first, but on deck we have Dalton Jones, and in the hole, Norman Seaburn. So that looks like it's going to be both for Mike Ryan at catching and Lee Stagg. That looks like it's going to be that for Mike Ryan catching and Jose Santiago pitching, as Boston manager Dick Williams leans in to try and find the hits, the on bases and the runs. They'll get the Red Sox back into it, and we'll go underway with ball 1. Reggie Smith gets ahead in the count on that one. 2 games so far, 2 ground outs and the switch hitter. Going back in left-handed on this one, just to keep things a little bit interesting. See ball 2. Went southpaw in the second inning. Switched over in the 5th. Now switched and back again, 2-0. Called strike one there. So 2-1. In the strategy here in Smith, and of course, we look at who's coming up. It's just switching around the rights and lefts as well. Called strike two. Count goes equal high. Just check. Jones is a lefty as well, so it's going to be a left, right by the looks of it. 2-2. Fouled away. Come back again with the count equal high then. There's the wind. Ball three. Goes to the outside. I mean, that's outside the lefty, so it's the same break McLaughlin has been working on all evening. Just bouncing around in the corners. 3-2. That's going to be towards second base. Knoop kicks that over to Dormincher at first. It's going to be in time for the first out. A little bit of pace on there as it heads towards the gap, but Knoop just getting down at the knee to take that one. Smartly caught and snapped over to Mincher. And you're 4-3, one away. Bottom of the eighth, Red Sox chasing three. Nobody on as yet, bases remain clear. McLaughlin into his eighth inning, pitching for the Angels. Dalton Jones comes in now. 220 for the season. Another southpaw. And that's going to be ball one. A little bit of a questioning look there from McLaughlin, and Will Howard taking a little bit of time just to make sure where he thought his eyes thought it was. Fouls away the 1-0. Makes us 1-1. Mike Ryan is catcher. That's going to be his game. He was not for two, so bringing the changes. We see ball two. All looking steady so far, McLaughlin. Not as intense as Santiago was, but just a little bit of a swagger still. So we get a called strike two on that one, so count goes equal high. Getting rather hefty counts in the eighth inning so far. All the batters digging in, all the pitchers trying to find a way around. And that one goes to the outside again, so it's full count. 3-2. 3-2 for Dalton Jones. Payoff comes down. Strike three. And that's the fourth strikeout for McLaughlin in the game tonight. And with that, just one out left in the bottom of the eighth for the Red Sox. It's going to be another pinch hitter coming in. That's Norm Seaburn. And say Santiago as expected. That will be that for the pitching. Have a look at who's warming up in a second. There's going to be a couple of choices. And that's going to be strike one called. Falls behind in the count. No runners on, 2 outs in the bottom of the eighth. As we see called strike two, was behind again. Seaburn for the season. Just the 147 so far, not a huge number of games played on that count though, it has to be said. And catcher Mike Ryan not for two, so a bit of a ringing that changes there for Dick Williams. Fouls that one away. So we'll stay at 0-2. Nothing. Just looking just comfortable. Comfortable is the best word. I wonder if they're going to see if he can go the distance. He's got to get out of this inning first though. We see ball one. See earlier discussion about commentators' scars. It doesn't matter what I say. 1-2. Was outside low there. And ball two. Pretty much the same spot. Lockman has been throwing everything low when he can. Breaking the speed is what's been just getting everybody there, getting the ball back to and out into play. And apart from the first home runs in the first and the home run in the second, it's been a really solid ground game from the Angels. 2-2. Lofted high, it's going long, it's going to stretch for the monster. There's a jump off from Cardinal at the track and gets that. Stolen from the monster. Slides down the padding instead and into the glove of Jose Cardinal. And that's out number 3, and the side retired in order. And from what looked to be the start, cutting down that lead. And with that, it zeroes across the board on that one. No runs, no hits, none left on base for the Red Sox. No errors charged to the Angels' defense as we go into 9. 3-run lead for the Angels, so they'll be looking to extend that. Red Sox will be looking their best to hold it to 3, give their offense as much chance as possible. We can ring a couple of changes as well. See Santiago getting a pinch hitter coming in there. Means we have a new pitcher to welcome aboard. It's Danazinski. And Jose Santiago, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs, and no strikeouts on that one, as Danazinski taking the classic fireman's role. Mike Ryan, catcher, also got a pinch hit, so we're going to welcome Russ Gibson in for catching duties now. Well, we haven't got as a changes to McLaughlin. He's staying in the batting order, so got to assume that Angels manager Bill Rigney is going to give him the chance to at least start the 9th. An opportunity to close out the game as well, but we got to get through and to the bottom of the 9th to find out what happens first. Right now, see where we get underway. Top of the 9th, 3 outs left each, 3-run game in favour of the Angels, looking to extend, and Azinski's first comes in high, so ball 1. McLaughlin, single, a strikeout and a reach on error so far, so it's a nice varied card coming through. Ski called strike. There goes equal low, 1-1. Ski in the wind. Lofted high, as he's going to indicate he's got a safe catch on that one. 1 or 2 steps just inside the warning track there and into the glove safely. Only about 50 feet away from the warning track. Yastrzemski positioned nicely on it, that one, and somebody right in the corner has another ball to take home with them. So 1 away. High ball out to the left field, 2 outs left, top of the 9th here, Jose Cardinal. Back to the top of the order, and Azinski already straight off, throws down the heat, but it's going to go low, so ball 1. Cardinal, 0 for 3 game, and there is a walk in there as well. 1-0. It's going to go to the outside. Yep, ball 2 didn't swing. It's just a little bit of a hesitation there. Umpiring crew doing what they need to do. Haller just again quite happy to take a moment and always wait and watch. Fouls is 2-0 over. 2-1. Also got Jim Honeychuk up at first, Nestor Shylock at second, and Cal Drummond over at third, keeping an eye on the game. 2-1. Cardinal fouls that one as well there. Hefty swing. High, but almost immediately over the fence, so no chance there of foul territory catch for Gibson. 2-2. Fouled once more. Cardinal looking to stay alive with that one as well. 2-2. Azinski in the wind again. Fouls that one again once more. It's going to just sneak over the fence there at first. George Scott kind of hoping it was going to be there in the crowd a little bit early on that one, but once more Cardinal faces it 2-2 from Danazinski. Comes down now. Strike 3. And there's 2 away. And Yastrzemski, little smile on the face there, steps back and sees Woody Held come in now as well. 1 for 4 game. Strikeout opened it up and single in the 5th. An RBI single. Kicked off the run streak that the Angels have now. 5 runs going up in the 5th inning. Open up with ball 1. It's outside and low. Yastrzemski just indicating he wants that one back quickly from Haller. Keeps the pace going. And fouls off there. Go low, 1-1. Held, sits there. Veteran who's seen it all, knows he's got the pressure on his shoulders. 2 away, top of the 9th, Angels leading by 3. Would love to extend it here at Fenway Park. 1-1. Into the glove, cold strike. 1-2. Subdued Fenway Park. Trying to find the 3 runs here in this afternoon game. Still busy, but we're seeing some empty seats come through. Anyway, 1-2 comes down. Strike 3. Yastrzemski comes in and retires them in order. Fly out, strikeout, and he's done his job for the team. So there we are, into the bottom of the 9th, and it's dead easy. 3 runs behind, 3 outs left. Red Sox do get top of the order though. Who wins the game here is going to take the rubber as well. It's not going to change the positions in the American League, but California 1.5 back right now, likely to cut that deficit by a significant amount, by 2/3. If they can get that here, we are going to welcome in Mike Andrews, Joe Foy, and Carl Yastrzemski. It's a strong top of the order on paper. And Andrews, rookie player, is not for 3 in the game so far. Jim McLaughlin is coming back in. Starting pitcher is going to go into the 9th. To be fair, for the last couple of decades, you'd always expect them to get to the 9th, but pace of the game has changed in the 60s. Let's get underway. McLaughlin for the Angels, throwing down to Boston. Strike 1 called. Strike 1 called. Andrews lets that one go past there. McLaughlin. It's that one dropping through and breaking inside. And that's going to be ball 1. So count goes equal low. 1-1. Andrews just smiling. They both got little smiles on their faces. This is what they play baseball for. This is what you listen to baseball for. 1-1. Strike 2. 1-2. Andrews maybe losing a little bit this one. McLaughlin gaining just a little bit as well. Buck Rogers still on catching duties. 1-2 comes down. Lofted up towards left field. Jose Cardinal has run the run to try and get that one. It's going to bounce in front of the ground in front of him. Takes that in the glove. Looks up though. Andrews already at first. Red Sox lead batter becomes the lead base runner. No outs, 3 runs to find. Runner at first. Joe Foy steps in now. Foy with a not 3 game. Ground out, strikeout, ground out so far. But for the first time, he has got a teammate on in front of him. And that's going to go ball 1. A lot of discipline in Foy. 260 for the year, 15 home runs, 39 RBIs. Either of those last 2 would do the Red Sox fans nicely. 0-1. Ball gets called to the outside, but round about the waist. Not a lot of drop on that one from McLaughlin. That might be one Foy be thinking he could have made more of. It's 1-1. Runner at first. Red Sox down by 3. There's the set. There's the pickoff attempt. It's not going to be in time, but Andrews pulled back onto the bag. McLaughlin just doing the little Ryan nod as well. Got that one out of his eye just in time, so we'll go back 1-1. Andrew staying a little bit closer to the back now. There's the set. Lofted high, going left field. It's got higher, it's got distance. The wind might even take that as well. Cardinal's just watching it. Over the monster. It's high, long and gone. And Fenway see 2 more runs go on the board. One in the first, one in the second, and the crowd have had to wait until the 9th to see one come on there as well. As there's the acknowledgement there as Foy heads to the dugout. And one swing of the bat, he's given the Red Sox a shot at this one. It's 5 to the Angels, 4 to the Red Sox. No outs on the board as yet for the Red Sox. So, tying run comes up to the plate. And it's Carl Yastrzemski, the guy going for the Triple Crown. The one that has all the weight on his shoulders. He's been carrying this team up from the bottom of the American League last year. 326 for the season, 24 home runs, 25 home runs because I missed that. He got one in the first as well. He started off the scoring. A swing of the bat here could keep the scoring going on as well, but he's gonna have to wait a moment because McLaughlin has been pulled, and it is going to be Bill Rigney making a different choice on the mound. Clyde Wright is going to be coming out here. Pitching report here is very much speed and plays the sides. So he's going to get a couple of warm-up pitches now. Yastrzemski steps back a little bit. Laughlin's final numbers: 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 strikeouts on that. Angels still in the lead, but by 1. And the crowd in Boston, well, he stayed all the way through. You're getting the tension now. 34,193 is our official attendance. Sign up, one more warm-up pitch from Wright. So it's going to be Yastrzemski representing the tying run. Tony Canigliaro is the go-ahead run, who's on deck. Yastrzemski 1 for 3, that home run. Canigliaro 1 for 3. Behind that you've got George Scott as well, who took the second home run. So the heart of the order, there's danger here for the Angels. There's hope here for the Red Sox. Yastrzemski steps in, he's ready. Wright steps up, he's ready. Everybody's good to go as we're underway here. 1 run between the teams. Red Sox down by 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. 3 outs to play for. First pitch comes in and it hits that high. It's going long. It's going center field. Repose takes a couple of shimmy steps to get that one on the warning track. Kicks it out and catches that long hanging fly ball there. And Yaz, the home run here to open up, is flown out center field, trying to go yard in the other 3 times, and it is 1 away. Angels breathe a sigh of relief there, and the tokens get passed over to Tony Canigliaro. Comes in now, and it's Tony that is going to be the tying run. It's going to be George in the hole who's representing the go-ahead. And now we are, and the changes are ringing in just now there. Bill Rigney just pulls Clyde Wright there, getting 1 pitch for the batter there. And so just going the lefty-righty matchup, so we're going to bring in Bill Kelso. Going to be pitching here. Kelso himself. Just a lot of movement on the ball. 4 pitches to choose from. There's 1 warm-up. This move here from Rigney may just be as much as disrupting the rhythm. Just seen the yard, an attempt to go yard. Going to get 1 more warm-up pitch from Bill Haller. Just thing is, everybody around here is professional, so it's not going to be enjoying a little bit of a pressure trying to settle. It's all about rhythm. It's all about shifting those pieces around. It's the final warm-up pitch indicated. So Tony Canigliaro, 1 for 3. Local hero, loves his power. Going to be first to face Bill Kelso. Pitch comes down, swing hard, and that's going to go foul down the third base line. Going deep into the stand as well. 0-1. Crowd hoping against hope that they'd be seeing more action. Well, 1 away, 2 outs left, 1 run to find. Count is 0-1. Goes ball 1. 1-1 on the count. Guerrero just pulling the bat back sharply on that one. 1-1. Kelso actually squeezing the ball. Comes down. That's going to go ball 2. Guerrero leaves the bat on the shoulder. Comes off now just to wave to the fans. Making a point to not point it out to anywhere in the outfield. Acknowledging somebody, not to family member in the stand, but he steps back into the box now. Bottom of the 9th, 1 out with 2 remaining, 1 run behind for the Red Sox here at Fenway. Bill Kelso, little squeeze once more on the hard ball, pitches in the 2-1. It's high, it's hard, it's going left field again. Wynn takes that one. Cardinal makes the jump at the edge, but it's not. It's going to be over the monster. Home run. Bill Kelso watches that one go past from the mound. Tony Canigliaro is right round the bases here at Fenway. This game is tied. Bottom of the 9th, 3 runs back. Single from Andrews puts him on base. Joe Foy homers to put it within 1 run. Tony Canigliaro homers and brings it up to a tied game as well. And the Angels, who've been in control defensively for a good 4 or 5 innings, have suddenly found out that the defence only works if the ball goes on the ground. If the ball goes in the air, then Fenway belongs to the Red Sox. George Scott is going to come in now. He's the go-ahead. He's the walk-off. The power and the aggression here. And with a 1 for 3 game, he already knows how to make contact, but it is his first time facing Bill Kelso. Comes down. Fouls that one. Down the left field line as well, not as much power. Fans hoping it was there once more. Seen the 3-run deficit cut, they will be hoping. Ball 1 goes past. Scott keeps the bat on the shoulder for that one. Also takes it back. Still a little bit of bounce in the knees, keeping himself limber. Ball 2 goes to the outside. Scott waiting for a snap. And the power. He's got to stay calm though. There's 2 outs. 1 swing wins it. 2, you do not want to get yourself out here. You need to be productive if you can. 2-1. And that's going to be called strike. Going to go equal high. 2-2. Also happy with that one. Scott waits for the next one. 2-2. That's ball 3. Check swing coming from Scott as well. Getting himself eager, trying to bring in the big bat. Trying to be a hero. We've already had 2 this inning. Can we find number 3? 3-2. Payoff pitch comes down. That's going to make contact. It's going towards Kelso. Kelso picks it up, snaps it over to first, and Scott's run out at first. Not going to be in time there. And it's 2 away. The game is tied. There's 1 out left, and it's going to go to Rico Petrocelli. It's not for 3. He's got power in there, 289 for the season, 8 home runs as well on the board. Bill Kelso there. No, we're talking about trying to find the Red Sox hero, but I think Kelso just managed to make himself a little bit of a hero there. Let's ignore the fact that he gave away the home run previously. There we go, Petrocelli from Kelso. Ball 1. 1-0. Petrocelli goes ahead here. Tied game, bottom of the ninth. 1-0. Kelso ready to deliver. Fouls that one and it goes away down left field line. Just a few feet into the crowd. 1-1. Called strike two. 1-2. Kelso gets that one back. Bases are empty. Petrocelli, go ahead run, bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. Kelso with the wind. Strike three! Drills straight into the glove there of Buck Rogers at catching, and with that we are going to extra innings. And it is all to do once more. Red Sox finding the 3 runs that they needed to tie up the game. That final run, that final hit from George Scoderico Petrocelli, just not there. 3 runs coming off 3 hits there. None left on base. No errors charged to the Angels on that one. So it is into the 10th. We have final results from, so I think we got the, Phillies and Giants is finished off at 8-3 to Philadelphia, and Twins Yankees. Yankees have put another 2 on the board to close that game out. So full-time Twins 2, Yankees 6. Right then, we are going to have a couple of changes, I suspect. Here we do. Lemazinski, fireman roll is over, and we're going to bring in Sparky Lyle. A bit of experience coming in now. So we're going to see the sliders coming in heavy from Sparky. Nothing else that I can see. So the Angels, Jim Fregosi, Don Minchin, Jimmy Hall. It's going to be a 1-2-3. And they are looking, well, both teams, sudden death innings into the 10th. Ricky Lyle, one more warm-up by the look of it. Comes in there. So our final attendance 34,193 here at Fenway. Into the 10th we go. Fregosi facing Lyle. Fouls the first one off. Fenway crowd sparking to life now as you see Sparky Lyle on the mound. Comes in. Ball 1. Count goes equal low. Lyle himself pitching left-handed. Wicked slider as well. Coming into the inside of Fregosi. Just as it does there. 2-1. Right, just a little bit tense here. Angels. We put everything up in just the 1 inning. Defense in the Red Sox is taking care of everything else. It's going to be ball 3. Lines well into the inside. Wind's not that strong enough to blame on that one, Sparky. 3-1. Lift it up. It's going to go foul, but George Scott's going underneath that one from first base. Puts the glove in the air and takes that one. Foul territory, but the fly is caught. And there is one away. Boston defense. Well, the job for them is simple, as it always is. Don't let any run scored. But then when you get to the 10th inning, no margin forever at all. Sparky Lyle coming in relief here in the 9th. Don Minchin. Homer run hit in the 5th, put 3 on the board. That's it for the game, 1 for 4 so far. First time facing Lyle. Lyle, the end of the wind. And line drive, that's going to be a base hit as he goes past Andrews and out into the right field. Canigliaro going to have to cover some distance to get that one there, which he does. But Minchin there comfortably up to first on the first pitch that he's seen from Lyle. So the Angels have to go ahead at first. And pinch hitter coming in actually, Jimmy Hill. That's that for the game. You should call that one there. It's 2 for 4 game for Hill, but we're going to welcome in Bill Skowron. So it's just switching out to get the lefty-righty matchup from the right-hander of Skowron. 236 for the season. Fouls the first one off. Strike one. Ash comes over. Lyle shakes one off from Ross Gibson. Signs on that one. Not in one. Cold strike 2. Not in 2 on the count. Runner at first here in the 10th. California Angels 5. Boston Red Sox 5. So it's the go-ahead that's waiting on first. Red Sox defending to give themselves a chance in the bottom. Not 2 on Skowron. And it is going high. It's going long. It's going out to the left field. Yastrzemski is just going to do a little shuffle with the feet. He's in the right position as it is already and takes that one. Long hanging fly ball. And that's the second out. So 1 out left for the Angels in the top of the 10th. Runner at first. Bubba Morton is going to be in as we have another pinch hitter. That's that for Roger Repose. So subbing out left-hander. Pinch hitting in. Bubba Morton, right-hander, so going for the matchup again. Lyle, though, is staying in there. Bouncing around here for Dick Williams. He's chosen his closer. Foul for that first one there. And Morton, which is that one. Head up and over. Lyle on the rubber. Morton ready for it. Not one. Line drive, that's going to be a base hit, goes down to third base line there. Yaz will have to come in and pick that one up off the ground, but not before Mincher gets himself safely into second. And we have Morton up to first, so runners at first and second. Scoring position for the go-ahead run. Sugar and Cream at first base. Stepping in now is Buck Rogers. I don't think subbed out Rogers is there we are, so catcher was replacing Bobby Knoop, so we still have Rogers bat in. 244 for the season. So a little bit of trust here is not 4 in the game so far. Facing Lyle. And ball 1. I'll just slice that one a little bit too far. 1-0. Rapidly gets my notes back in again for Rogers. No, it comes down. Fouls that one. It's going close, but it's going to drop past the foul ball down the right baseline. Count is 1-1. Tied game, top of the 10th. Angels looking to take the lead here. Set. That's going to go line drive down the left field line. Runners are on the move. Mincher's passing third. Mincher is going to go for home. He's legging a long throw. Comes in. Yastrzemski throws in. Gibson takes that one up as the catcher. Called out. At home, the dive is not underneath the ball. And with that, the side is retired. The Angels. A last gasp dive there. Mincher deciding that he wouldn't hold up at third, giving the signal to head in from third, and with that signal, Yastrzemski launched his own bomb out from left field, and the chase was on, and the winner of that was the baseball into the glove of Gibson and onto the shoulder of Mincher, and the hand was maybe a foot or two short of the bag. So with that, side retired. Rogers is going to be credited with the single, so 3 hits but no runs. 2 left on base for the Angels, and with that it is into the bottom of the 10th. Tied game here, so one swing can do it for the Red Sox. Going to ring the changes as you would expect going into the bottom of the 10th. Beauchal is going to drop into third base. Woody held down is going to move from third up to left field. Ozzy Cardinal's going to move over into the centre, and we're going to get Bubba Morton out in the right. So that is Held, Cardinal and Morton, you left, centre, right. Shall, Knoop and Mincher, you 3-2-1. Jim Fregosi stays at shortstop. You have Ross Gibson on catching duties. Just fix the paperwork on that one. And we still have Bill Kelso on the bump. So Reggie Smith steps in as the go-ahead run, faces Bill Kelso. And run away, bottom of the 10th. Ball one. Kelso sends that one to the outside. 1-0. Brings that one back. Kelso on the wind. 2-0. Goes to the outside once more, just trying to work the edge there. Hits hard, going down the right field line. That's pass is going to bounce around in the corner. Smith is passing first, he's going for two. He's heading up to two. Martin struggling to find the ball. He's got that, does the long throw. Kelso makes the charge, going for three, slides in. Safe at third, and only now is the ball getting into the diamond. Line driver straight into the corner and just bouncing around like a ping pong ball in there. Morton finally getting up from his feet. This takes a moment or two to gather himself for the long throw in, and that was just enough time. And the extra legs from Reggie Smith there, getting himself into third base. It's a triple to lead off the 10th, 90 feet away from winning the game, and Kelso is going to get pulled. Bill Rigney is going to send in Minnie Rojas now. Rojas is going to be facing Russ Gibson. Gibson quietly sitting there, out on his feet, not a care in the world, the game on his shoulders. One practice coming in. You've indicated he's got one more. Arrow keeping the pace of this game up here. Both of those practice pitches going in straight down Broadway. Gibson bounces back up onto the balls of his feet. Rojas ready to pitch in. Bottom of the 10th. No outs so far. Runner at third for the Red Sox. That's your winning run there, 90 feet away from home. Gibson's going to have some options here as the batter. Called strike one. And Gibson, happy to watch that one go past, I think. Teammate up there, third base. 5 to the Angels, 5 to the Red Sox. In 10, bottom of the 10th. Fenway expects. Ball one. Rojas is peppering that into the bottom left corner. A little bit of off speed as well. 1-1. Ball two. Going for the inside corner there, and did a little bit too much corner. Gibson knows that it's just one to send it over and to send the team home. Rojas conscious that he's got Reggie Smith over there at third base. Ball three. Check swing there coming from Gibson. 3-1. Rojas shakes one off. Agrees on that one. 3-1 coming in. Head high. It's relatively shallow though, so we can see Woody Held coming in underneath that one. He's going to be a comfortable catch, and that is going to be first one away in the inning for the Red Sox. High ball out to left field. Coming in shallow, so Reggie Smith just keeping himself steady at third base. 2 outs left. One swing can do it. Jerry Adair comes in now. Pinch hitting for Sparky Lyle. And takes ball one. And once again, Fenway crowd, knowing that Fenway crowd through 8, we're hoping for a miracle to happen. 2 home runs in the 9th, saw that come through. And do we see it now? Foul, that one there. 1-1. Royas looking to keep the Angels in this. Jerry Adair looking for the one swing. Then he'll bring home the winning run up there on third with Reggie Smith. 1-1. That stays on the shoulder. 2-1. Adair goes ahead in the can. Smith's taking a little bit of a lead, just a 1 out. He's going to put pressure on here. 2-1 comes down. Grounder goes up to third base. Shaw gets that one. Smith's on the move. It's going to be a chase out at home. Goes wide. Hits past the right shoulder of a catcher. It's going to go into the dirt. And with that, it's the game. It's a walk-off as Reggie Smith, with a bit of a lead, decides he's going to go for the sacrifice run in. The squeeze is successful, and with that, the Red Sox, from 3 runs down at the bottom of the 8th, take that as a 6-5 game and take the rubber in the 3-game series against the California Angels. Extend their lead at second place in the American League, puts them just 1 game behind the Chicago White Sox. White Sox not playing today, and they put a little bit of a distance away from the Angels, who now fall to 4 games behind. 2.5 behind the Red Sox as the crowd is cheering on the line of the Red Sox players as they head out here at Fenway. The game, it started off with excitement for the Red Sox, quickly saw them fall behind, and then everybody turned it into a defensive slugging match. The Angels managing to break through in the 5th with 5 runs, but the rest of the time the Red Sox defense held steady right the way through. The Angels defense held all the way through to the 9th as well, with the 3 runs going onto the board there to tie up the game and take us into a 10th inning sudden death. The Angels, Don Mincher attempted to get an extra base run from second to third. The run to home not successful, and that gave the Red Sox a simple task in the bottom of the 10th. Score 1 run and walk it off. That 1 run came thanks to Reggie Smith's triple, putting him into the right position. And the danger there, the pressure applied to the Angel, and an errant throw. A scoring on error to finish out the game, but a score is a score, especially in the 10th. So, across the board, 2 errors to the California Angels, 11 hits and 5 runs. Boston Red Sox tying on the errors as well, 2 from the hometown, 7 hits on that one, but an extra run on the board. Angels 5, Red Sox 6. Thanks very much for joining. We will have that game in the evening. We head over to Los Angeles for the Mets and the Dodgers. So have a little bit of music and news and weather. Go and enjoy. It's Thursday afternoon sun. My colleagues will be back with you for radio later on in the day. But now it's on to some music, and I will leave you in the capable hands of the master of the music himself, Matthew Ebel. Hey Matthew! Oh, we finally got the win there, didn't we?
Although California Angels reliever Minnie Royas did not save this game, he would be credited with 27 saves in the 1967 season, winning the American League's Fireman of the Year. His 27 saves would be a single-season record for the Angels, standing until Donnie Moore put up 29 in 1985. Angel starter Jim McGlathan would be traded to the Cincinnati Reds in 1970, where his 14 wins would play a pivotal role in the Big Red Machine winning the National League pennant. He would make 2 World Series appearances for the Reds before passing away from leukemia in 1975, aged 32. Sparky Lyle earned his first win in this extra innings walk-off for the Boston Red Sox. In 1977, he would become the first relief pitcher in the American League to win the Cy Young Award. Along with Rollie Fingers, who would lift the Cy Young in 1981, Lyle would help shape the role of a closing pitcher. Carl Yastrzemski would go on to win the Triple Crown in 1967 by leading in batting average, home runs and RBIs, a feat that would not be repeated until 2012 by Miguel Cabrera. Yastrzemski would go on to be an 18-time All-Star, win 7 Golden Gloves, join the 3,000 hit club, and is currently second on the all-time games played list with 3,308. And he would stay with the Red Sox for his entire career. Yaz's standout performance lifted the Boston Red Sox to their first winning season since 1958, taking the pennant in a campaign that became known as the Impossible Dream. Yet they would lose the World Series in 7 to the St. Louis Cardinals, falling once more to the curse of the Bambino that befell the club in 1920 following the sale of Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. This broadcast should not be considered a complete or fully accurate historical record. Nevertheless, that was our story of the game. We thank Crafting the Call, Retro Sheet and Sports Reference. This is Classic Baseball Radio on Spotify, YouTube and online at classicbaseballradio.com.